welcome to Materials and Me. Materials being the study of stuff and me being eerie. I've come back from work feeling determined. I'm feeling like if I don't make this video now, the it's going to just go downhill from here. So here we go. Um so I realized that I did a video on, what material science and engineering is. I've done a day in the life of what it's like doing my course at the University of Sheffield. But what am I actually studying? Like, what am I actually being taught? In material science and engineering at Sheffield, we basically have some courses that we only do in autumn semester and then they examine us. And then we have some courses that we only do in spring and then they examine us at the end of the spring semester. And then we also have some courses that we do the whole year round. Well, at least that's what happened in first year. So these are the courses I did all year round. And so I started in September and then they didn't assess me till June or May. No, June. Okay, so maths, obviously, and we do that with like all the other engineering students. But anyways, yeah, so basically what we would do is we would have online videos to watch, then quizzes. Oh yeah, these were 10% of our final grade. And then problem classes and then problem class sheets that we would go through in the problem classes basically. So yeah, that's maths. I can't really go into detail of the maths we were learning. It's maths. We were learning maths. So if you didn't do first year, I said first year, if you didn't do A level maths, it's okay because they literally will. There's this thing called MASH, and it's math support, math and statistics help basically. And if you don't understand something, you just book an appointment with them. They help you out, and I think there's actually special classes for people who don't do A level maths. So don't let it discourage you. Like you'll actually be fine. And even those of us that did A level maths, we're still looking for people to help us. So okay, so that's maths. Now, what else did we do all year round? Chemistry. The chemistry we did was split into like four bits. So four different people were teaching us chemistry. So we had organic chemistry, atomic chemistry, crystal chemistry, and polymer chemistry, and they were all taught. So you can see on the screen that it was split between what's it called, the two semesters. The chemistry was sweet. I can't lie. Basically, it was a really good setup. Yeah, I don't know, how do I explain chemistry to you. Oh, in crystal chemistry, we started learning about crystallography, and I can't lie, it's hard. I thought it was hard. You know about like perovskites and stuff, and it just it took a while to grasp basically. Um, polymers is nice. Organic chemistry is nice. Enjoy it. Now on to mechanical properties and structural materials. Right. This is when you actually start learning about material science and engineering. You start hearing buzzwords like microstructure, ductility, stress concentrations, like most of the maths like necessary in material science and engineering, like they sort of give you little flavors of it in this module. It wasn't easy, let me not lie, but I really enjoyed it, and our lecture was really fun. Our first semester lecture, so to be fair, first semester and second semester was quite fun, but first semester was the one where we had problem sheets, and so like that was where we were like the bulk of calculations and stuff, and I think our lecturer understood how intense it might get later on, that he sort of like gave all the topics like Star Wars headings. So like Knights of the Old, Materials Properties, the Phantom Era, May the Units Be With You, The Revenge of the Atom. He said it was Star Wars. I don't know if this is all Star Wars references. Anyways, you guys, you get the gist. So Yeah, no, this module is a good one. It's a good one. But yeah, the problem sheets he would go through them, so don't worry. Like it's not that oh, he just gave the answers and that was the end. No, like you would have the problem sheets and then he would you try them and then there was another lecture where he would go through them and like you could ask questions and all that. Um, and then the second part of the module in the second semester was a bit less calculation based and more sort of like theory. Yeah, I feel it was more theoretical. Like there were still problems, but yeah, the calculations was not the same as the first semester calculations. Digital skills for materials. Yes, sorry. MATLAB. That's actually all I have to say. I don't know why I'm even opening it on my screen. MATLAB. That's what it was. That's all we did. If you want to start, getting familiar with MATLAB, do that. If you don't, like me, who didn't know we were going to do MATLAB, um, MATLAB is not hard. It makes sense. There's a lot of resources online. You just need to look for them and practice. Well, for me, I found that I couldn't just be like, oh yeah, okay, this makes sense. I know how to do it. Like I needed to actually practice it to be able to perform well. Um, yeah, because like it's not something you can cram. Basically, it just comes with practicing it. But yeah, it was mainly just MATLAB, learning how to use it, and then also obviously like using it to like make data, analyze data. Um, yeah, MATLAB. Okay, autumn semester. I've actually been talking for a bit, so I'm gonna try and like stop digressing in this one. Okay, so autumn semester, I looked at the introduction to nanoscience and nanomaterials, and that one it was an essay. That's actually what that module was. Obviously, like we had an introduction to like what nanoscience and nanomaterials are, but it wasn't that like we were learning about like the different nanomaterials or whatever. So I think it was more to like help us learn how to like write good essays rather than actually like studying nanomaterials and nanoscience, if that makes sense. But obviously I learned a bit about nanomaterials from my essay, but only a very particular topic within that. Now, kinetics and thermodynamics and phase diagrams. This module, oh my goodness. Ah, oh gosh. It was essentially like I don't know. Thermodynamics was there. Learning about like specific heats, entropy, enthalpy, all of that. And then obviously phase diagrams. I'll put a picture here. Let me put my finger here. Phase diagrams. Yeah. Um and just how to read off of them, why we use them, that sort of thing. Kinetics, yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna start off by saying, like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, like, I honestly feel bad for you. Like,
But anyways, yeah. So this was 100% exam based. I be exam assessed. Biomaterials. Okay, I'm actually going to try and keep biomaterials brief, simply because I don't want to relive it. That's actually it. Biomaterials, as the name suggests, we learn about materials that can be used for biological purposes. Um, so we were learning about like the materials they use in like for like hip replacements, for example, and also just looking at like I think we also looked at like the progression that materials in, like the dental in materials in dentistry. We looked at like their progression like over time. Um, and what else? It was actually in the biomaterials module that like I sort of they first sort of set out straight that oh look, um what's it called, like toughness, stiffness, strength, like they're not the same. Okay, spring. Spring, spring, spring. Do I have a spring? Spring, spring. The only new modules I started in second semester were Introduction to Materials Properties and the Materials and Environment module. So in the Introduction to Materials Properties, I basically learned about like optical materials, so like I don't know, fluorescent lamps, stuff like that. And then look, it's even here. So learned about like fluorescent bulbs, abi lamps, absorption, emission, optical fibers, that kind of thing. And then in we did like electrical materials as well. So like semiconductors, um, insulators, that kind of thing. Then magnetical magnetic materials. That's when they started telling us about like ferromagnetism, diamagnetism, paramagnetism, non-ferromagnetism. I should start rapping for material science. Anyways, yeah. So actually, that module was actually quite fun. Um, yeah. So this module, Introduction to Materials Properties, this was actually what's it called? 100% exam assessed. No way out of that. But the Materials and Environment module, 100% group work. This was the first time I was doing group work. How my experience was doing these group assignments is a story for another day. But essentially, as the name suggests, they were trying to give us insights into, I guess, materials and the environment. I don't know how else to explain it, but basically they wanted us to think more about, energy inputs in terms of like manufacturing and looking at life cycle analysis for stuff, and even the packaging materials that those things come in. And so basically, the assignment was each person got a product. So my group got a bicycle. I think somebody got a kettle. I don't know, microwave, different things like. But we got a bicycle, and we had to sort of give a presentation on that. So, like looking at the energy inputs that went to the different components of the bicycle. So, like I was looking at rubber, somebody else was looking at the steel on the bicycle, somebody else was looking at, oh, this part of the bicycle is mainly aluminium, so it would have required XYZ, so that kind of thing. And so we gave a presentation at the end. That's how we were assessed, and then obviously they give you a group grading, a big grade. They give you a group grade and then an individual grade, and that's basically how it works. But yeah, labs. Guy, our labs were fun. Obviously, because in first year we were in lockdown. Some of them were like online that should have been physical, so we didn't get the full experience. But our first ever lab was we broke chocolates. That was great. And we also got to put it inside liquid nitrogen, so that was nice as well. So yeah, we have fun labs compared to like I think some other courses. Chemeng. No, so I hear. I've heard from a chemical engineering students that their labs are not up to ours. So yeah, that's that. And maybe I'll make a second year video, and like I'll give you guys a bit more insight as to the labs that I did in second year. Oh, GEC. I didn't talk about GEC. So the Global Engineering Challenge is basically this. All first years do it, and it's not just first year material students. It's first year engineers, computer science students as well. And so it's just this sort of interdisciplinary program, and they give you this problem, and you guys have to come up with a solution. And so I know my group, we were looking at a problem in Peru. We have like a landfill problem, and the waste from the landfill is always going into their water bodies. So we had to come up with a sustainable engineering solution or engineered solution. We had to come up with a sustainable solution as to how they could sort of like reduce this problem or solve this problem. And so, yeah, maybe one day I'll tell you what our solution was. But that's the GEC program is pass or fail. And so yeah, that's first year material science and engineering at Sheffield. Gosh, I don't think this is going to be so long. Anyways, if you made it to this point of the video, good on you, good on me. Let's keep doing this. I knew you guys missed that.